Good afternoon, class. Today we will be creating art inspired by Andy Warhol, a pop art artist. Now, what is pop art? So, pop art is inspired by popular people slash things that we see every day. However, we see that these people slash things in a new light with bright and colorful colors that pop out at you. So, here's some pictures, for example. You see, we have the famous Marilyn Monroe, but she's not in her normal colors. Andy Warhol uses pinks and yellows and blues. Here's another example. We got some tasty donuts with they're so bright and colorful and they just make your eyes go straight towards it. So we are going to be creating art inspired by Andy Warhol's art. And while we are creating this art, we will be focusing on our shapes. We'll be using different materials so that we can keep practicing and understanding our shapes better. So, that being said, let's get to the art. So, step number 1. Think of your favorite person or thing that you see every day. It could be your mom, your dad, maybe it's your cat or dog, and if it's a thing, maybe you want to draw your favorite can of ravioli. Anything you want. So for me today, I will be creating my cat Clem. So first, I'm going to go ahead and sketch him out on this piece of paper so I know what I'm looking for when I'm creating my art. So nothing too crazy. Now, I'm not the best drawer, but that's okay. So here, this is going to be my inspiration for my cat Clem. So I'm going to keep this in my front so I can keep looking back at it and I remember what I am creating. So now that we have our piece to keep referencing back to, we're going to examine our materials. So in front of me and in front of you, I have lots of different materials. I have lots of different paper, colored paper. I've wrapped some boxes in different shapes up so we can use this as our body parts, or if it's a can of ravioli, you can use this as your can. I have some little circle gem stickers. These are surely going to make my art pop. I have a little crown. You'll see what I'll use this for, but you gotta be creative. And I even have some little gift bags of different colors in case I want to add some more colors. And you can see that these are all super bright and colorful. That's exactly what we need for pop art. Alright, so I've examined my materials. Now I'm going to think about first, what will I do? I'm going to make a game plan. So ask yourself, what could you use different materials for? Like example, what can we use these little diamonds for? I'm thinking we can use them as eyes, make them very, if someone has some green eyes, you can make them very colorful with these. You could even use them as buttons on a shirt. For this crown, you can use it as a crown, or since I'm going to be drawing my cat Clem and he has little tiny ears, I'm going to cut out some pieces of these and use them as the ears. So yes, be creative, think outside the box, make a game plan. So now that I have my game plan in mind, we're going to go ahead and start creating. Alright, cut out that I'll be sure to add to my cat. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So if you're going to be creating a cat like me, first I'm going to start off with my cylinder shaped object. I wrapped it in paper. Alright, and I also have this rectangle shape that I'm going to be using as the head. So for now, we're going to get some glue dot, 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 not a lot. Remember that, okay? So dot, dot, not a lot. We're gonna go ahead, stick that on there. You wanna make sure it's on there, so squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Hold it. All right. We are gonna hope that that is good. No, maybe not. I think tape will be better for this job. I also have some little tape, so I'm gonna go ahead, make it a circle, put it on there. See, I just made my tape a little circle so it can be sticky on both sides. And now that's a little bit better. So you see I have the body in my head now. Okay. So let me look back at my paper. Alright, so Clem has some really pointy ears. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my crown out. Okay. So remember, dot, 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 not a lot, dot, 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 not a lot. Gonna put that here. Make sure you squeeze, 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 squeeze. You want to make sure it stays on there. We can't have his ears coming off now. And for extra measure, I'm gonna put some tape. You can also put some tape, just to make sure it's really stuck on there. We have to make sure that Clem can hear. Okay, so we got one little ear on. Cute! Now, we're gonna go ahead and put the other ear on. Remember, dot, 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 not a lot. We're gonna stick this on here. There we go. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right, and for good measure, again, I'm gonna put tape. I'm also gonna put a little bit more tape on his head because it's a little flimsy. Okay, so now we have our cat ears. Yay! All right. So, what should I do next? I think I'm gonna go ahead and use these circle diamonds for his eyes. Okay, so let's open these up. And there's lots of diamonds on here, so be sure you share with your friends because there's plenty to go around. All right, and these are just little stickers, so you don't need glue for these. So I'm gonna put Clem back down. I'm gonna put little bitty eyes. Boop. This is hard with nails. There we go. Now we have two cute little green eyes. They look really small, so I'm gonna draw on some circles around them so they can pop a little. So circle, circle. Beautiful. So now Clem has eyes. Now what else do we find on our face? On a cat's face? A nose. Perfect. So I'm gonna go back to these little itty bitty triangles that I drew, and I'm gonna use these as his nose, but it's a little big. You have a big nose. Let's cut it. So I'm gonna cut it just a little bit so that he has a tiny little cute little nose. So cut, cut, and you see now we have a little tiny triangle. And we're gonna use that as his nose. So remember, dot, 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 not a lot. This one, you only need one little tiny dot. Bloop, bloop. We have one little tiny dot. I'm gonna put it upside down on his face, just like this. You want to kind of squeeze it on there. Haha. Kind of looks like an owl right now. What do cats have that make them different from other animals? Whiskers. That's right. All right. So I'm gonna draw his mouth on. real quick. Just below his nose. And let's see, do I have any material that I can use for whiskers? Oh, I think I do. Going back to these little gift baskets, we could use these strings up here for whiskers. So, kind of dry off. Hope for the best. Okay, move on to the other ones for now. Putting all his little tiny whiskers on him. Squeeze it on there. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And it's okay if you get a little bit of glue on your hands. Art is messy. We're gonna put this on here. Dot, dot, dot. Not a lot. Uh-oh, there's a little bubble there. There you go. Alright. I'm gonna let the whiskers dry a little bit, because I don't know how well they're gonna stick on here. If you want to make glue dry a little bit faster, bring out your fans. Maybe even try to blow on it a little bit, and that will help a lot. Okay. So while his whiskers are drying, I don't want to pick them up because I'm scared that the whiskers are going to fall off. So we're going to let them dry. While the whiskers are drying, I'm going to move on to his body. So my cat Clem has stripes. He has orange and white stripes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add in some pink for his stripes. I have these tiny strips for his stripes. So lower this a little bit. Cute. So I'm just going to put them on the side like this for his stripes. Go ahead, add some glue. Dot, dot, dot. Not a lot. You really don't need a lot with little tiny paper. Alright, I'm going to put that here. Make sure it's nice and secure. Uh-oh. Alright, we got one little stripe down. Our project is coming together. Now I'm gonna add just another little stripe right underneath. Hold it in place. There we go. Alright, that's 2 stripes down. Now I'm gonna move on to the other side. Let me flip it over so you can see. Perfect. Dot, dot, dot. Not a lot. We're just gonna put it on the opposite sides of the other stripes we use. I'm gonna squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Put a little bit more because it's kind of coming up. Oh, it did! Alright, so this is Clem so far. Looking cute, looking cute. Okay, let's see. What else can we add to it? So we have his face, we have his ears, we have the nose, whiskers, mouth. I have his stripes. Let me look back at my paper. Oh, I drew some little tiny arms for him. So, let's see. Do I have any materials I can use for his arms? I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and draw them on. So, I'm going to grab my marker. All I'm going to do is go, whoop, draw some fingers. Same thing over here. Whoop. Perfect. So now Clem has some little arms. And then in the back, I'm even going to draw a little tail. And now Clem has a little tail. Alright, guys. Clem is done, I think. What do y'all think? We have his ears, his eyes, and we used a bunch of different shapes and materials so we can learn our shapes more. We used tiny circles for his eyes. We used a triangle for his nose. More triangles for his stripes. What about his head? What shape is his head? Rectangle. Good job. Rectangle for his head. We got lots of different shapes in here. And now we have beautiful artwork. I hope y'all liked today's lesson.